And essentially this just calculates which direction we want to rotate the camera depending on which player we're looking at. Okay. I'm not sure if we need this first frame anymore, so let's just get rid of that. Okay. So what we could do is create a const starting zoom. .1. So I kind of like the idea that zoom equals vector2 of starting zoom. I kind of like the idea that the game starts zoomed out and then it zooms into your character at the beginning. And in fact, that's going to be part of the reset, isn't it? Actually, no, that can stay there. All right. So we set the zoom to our starting zoom, and then when we process physics, what we'd like to do is grab, say, zoom equals a linear interpolation from our zoom to our default zoom plus our target dot linear velocity dot length times zoom multiplier. And we can move that by delta. And okay, so I think this is going to have the opposite effect. It's actually going to zoom in as we go faster. What happened? Side rotation. Ah, okay. Yeah, that does need to happen here. Okay. That's odd. Okay, so let's put a break point here. I don't know why this is nil. Target camera that's really odd. I didn't expect that to happen at all. I guess we could just say if zoom. So which is quite odd, really. Like, I can't imagine why a camera would ever exist without its zoom value. But alright. Or is it this one? Default zoom plus vector 2. I see, maybe this is what happened. Alright, so we can say the var zoom adjustment, right, can equal the linear velocity times our multiplier. And then we set our zoom equal to that zoom adjustment. And I think we actually want that to be negative. Float minus. Okay, so we can actually say that we can actually do the subtraction here before we create a vector 2 out of it. Default zoom, and then here we can just create a vector 2 out of the zoom adjustment. Let's see if that works.
Phase 1. Collect stars and weapons.
Whoa. That's quite cool. Whoa. Alright, that zoom is way too much. We're actually zooming in negative. So I really quite like that starting zooming out from the player instead of zooming in. I think that's actually quite cool. Then we can set our zoom multiplier by something quite tiny, I think. And then we want to add the zoom. I forgot that adding the zoom zooms out. Oh, hello, Bumfuzzle Games. There we go. Whoa, still way too much zoom out, isn't there?
Fire shield.
Way too much zoom out. Okay, so I think maybe that's zooming out too much by almost like a factor of 10. Factor of 5, let's say. So let's divide that by 5 and see if we get something cool. Bumfuzzle Games. Okay, so as we speed up, we're slowly zooming out. And then the camera will move to essentially take our velocity into account. So it'll move ahead of us slowly so that we can see where we're going a little bit more.
Phase 2.
Okay, I'm kind of happy with that. And we've done a little bit of linear interpolation, although I think that linear interpolation is actually too fast. So the rotation relative to delta, I think, makes sense. However, this, I think we're going to times this by zoom speed. And let's create another constant, zoom speed. And I think that should be about a quarter of what it was. And let's use the type assignment operator. I think it's called the walrus for some reason. I think there's a slight performance gain to be had when we type everything. I think this, if we type this, it'll cause an error. Oh no. Cool. So now what I expect to happen is I expect the zoom to be a little less pronounced.
Ice.
Prevent bugs. Yeah, fair enough.
Shooter.
Okay, so that velocity offset I think is still a little bit too much. Maybe the zoom is enough to give the player more visibility. We don't need to actually move anything away. Okay. Although, I don't know, it does feel quite satisfying. So Bumfuzzle, are you a Godot developer or do you use a different engine? I'm assuming you're a game developer because your username combines the two disparate elements of Bumfuzz and games. So
Shooter. Fire shield.
I feel like modern video games don't incorporate enough Bumfuzz. So I think you're onto something. Interesting. My power-up seems to have been interrupted. So I think when I rebuilt the GUI system, I think I made it possible for the weapon power-ups to be interrupted. Or is it just going really slow? Is it just going really slow? No, there it goes really big. Huh. Interesting. It's like only some of the key presses are taken into account. Okay, I don't know how I feel about this camera system now. I think I like the zoom out. And it's zooming really slowly in. Really slow.
Laser. Laser. Ice.
It's in the dictionary.
Ice.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Okay, cool. I think we can turn the zoom multiplier up a little bit.
Phase 1. Collect stars.
How much do I want to bet? So that starting zoom is really slow. Like it starts so zoomed out, so zoomed in. But maybe that's kind of cool because you don't really know what level you're on until it zooms out. And you sort of just have to start powering through. Like, because the beginning of the level is a race to collect as many stars and lives as possible. Right? And $2 it is. I'll put a dedication to Bumfuzzle in the credits of this game.